Name and where you from?
My name is Demetrius Mauney-McDaniels, and I'm from Rutherford County, Forest City, North Carolina. Growing up in Rutherford County, it was kind of unique. I was raised by my great-grandparents. My biological parents weren't necessarily equipped to raise me due to having me at a young age, just kind of running the streets, living the young American dream, I guess you could say. So being raised by my great-grandparents, I was being raised by individuals that was two generations behind like all of my peers. So like my peers' parents were in their like 20s and 30s. My parents that I considered my great-grandparents were at the time in their mid 70s. So that was like unique to me because I got a lot of like old school experience. I was kind of raised like I was brought up in the 70s and 80s, although like I was a Gen Z guy. So it was very different, but I mean, I wouldn't change it at all. I was the oldest of five sisters. We all had different dads or mothers. It was just kind of a mix and cluster of us. Although I loved them all, like we all came from the same womb. When it came to my grandparents, they really were like the driving force for me to like stay off the streets. Kind of swayed me to the right, where it was more so I had more structure and discipline rather than when I actually started being introduced to my dad around age 8 or 9 years old. That's where we kind of got into more of the cliquey bond of me and him were more so friends rather than a father-son relationship. My mom was in and out of my life as well. So growing up, I mean, I just kind of felt like I was a loner or like someone that like a lot of people knew, but I really didn't relate to a lot of people, especially people my age, because of the environment that I grew up in and the circumstances I grew up in, which is why I feel like I operate and do the things that I do today. Coming up from a little small town, Forest City, my childhood dream was ultimately to be in the NFL, to make a lot of money, change the trajectory of my family. I mean, just pretty much do what you see on Sundays and live the dream, playing for whatever team that would draft me. That was pretty much my lifelong dream since I was 5 years old, because I always thought that money was going to solve all of my problems. And then it wasn't until later on in my life that I realized that money never will solve my problems. I think it was, I was in I was in Pee Wee ball, playing with the like tighty mites or whatever, and I had a coach, RoCo, and my uncle actually was over the organization at the time, and I was on defense, but we was playing a team out of Chesney, and I went into their huddle, and when I went into their huddle, like I broke the huddle with them. Quarterback snapped the ball to me, and I took the ball and took off running. I mean, it was illegal, but like that's when I was like, I really love this game, because I mean, like I felt the love from the coaches, like all the players, and then it was just I got a lot of attention. That was something that I really didn't have a lot of growing up, being raised by my great grandparents. Just because I mean, they were older, their health was kind of plummeting. They really weren't cognitively aware enough to kind of keep up with me. That was like really where that technology, the MacBooks started being integrated in the schools, like the curriculum started changing. So they really were far behind like the new wave or the new generation. So it was kind of like when I was at home, I was just pretty much just provided my essential needs. And then beyond there, I was kind of raising myself through experience. I would say the turning point was I actually had met he's my mentor, he's family, Tamiko Kelly. We was at a high school basketball game. I was in middle school, 7th grade. A lot of people were talking about me in the county in football, but I really didn't have any exposure. I met him at the basketball game after. He just kind of introduced me to coming into a session with him to work out. And during that session, he kind of like broke down to me that he knew who I was. And then it kind of like came back for me, like as far as four circle memory, when it came back, because he actually used to date my aunt when he was in high school. And I remember when I was smaller, he actually played ball at North Carolina Central. So when I seen that someone actually could see potential in me, that was all I needed to just pretty much lock in and hit the ground running. And I just didn't look back from there. I just kept acquiring more success. And then it was just more like I just kind of built it in my DNA. Like it was just something that was ingrained into me, and like I couldn't stop. I mean, of course, God is like the head of my life, but my wife and my son is ultimately everything. They're the reason that I wake up every single day. I do what I do. I take the hard right over the easy wrong because I know like I have them depending on me. And if it wasn't for my wife, like I probably wouldn't be here today, considering like my whole college career and how everything kind of played out. But it played out for the better of everyone, including myself.
If young Demetrius was sitting here in this class, he was a part of this program, what would you do for him?
I probably would hug him. I probably would tell him like it's okay to cry. It's okay to be vulnerable, because the young Demetrius was very angry, hostile. I was really like a little hothead. I just like to fight. I like to roll around with people I shouldn't have been rolling around with, just because I wanted to perceive a persona or an image that I was this guy that was scary and not to be messed with, because I also felt unprotected a lot of times being in the environments that I was in. So oftentimes I felt like I was in a fight or flight response. Well, my response was always fight, because I mean, like that's just kind of how I was raised, especially getting the old school whoopings, which were really beatings. So those didn't do anything really but make me even more mad.
What are you doing here today?
Today, I mean, I'm here to empower the youth, uplift the youth, and enrich them with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Give them some of my self-disclosure of my experiences in life. And then beyond that, I really just want to allow them to soak up some knowledge so they could go spread the word of God, and they could go be they could be better men and better citizens themselves. My name is Demetrius Mauney-McDaniels. This is Breaking RoCo.